Welcome to the Aberdeen Sports Village here in the northeast of Scotland. You join us for the first final session of the Scottish National Open Swimming Championships 2017. Welcome, thanks for joining us. Very special welcome to those viewers from BBC Online. The first time this championship has been broadcast on live on BBC Online, so a very special welcome to you all. I'm Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action tonight, and if you do want to join in on some of the action, please send your comments in on Twitter. The Twitter hashtag is hashtag SNOC17, so please send us your Twitter messages and we'll try and read them out during this next 2 hours of broadcast there. Some great events to look forward to tonight. I'm being joined in the commentary box by the Scottish national coach Alan Lynn. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening. It's nice to get a seat. I've just been through there talking to some of our commercial sponsors and partners, setting up the evening's swimming and talking to them about our performance programme. So delighted to sit down, although I may stand up at times, and watch what's going on in front of us. Some really exciting races in prospect, and of course we've got one eye on those European Junior Championships in Israel, which started yesterday, and we've got 6 young Scottish swimmers taking part in that. So there'll be some virtual racing going on tonight, and of course all over the weekend.
Yeah, some decent times being posted in Israel today. We were hearing through the grapevine, and we're looking forward to some very, very good times tonight there. Just so you in the picture some of the contenders for some of the races over the next 4 days of competition. This is only day one, of course, but some mouth-watering races to come in. Some big names as well, Alan. There's the programme for tonight. We start off with the women's 100 butterfly, which is very interesting with a lot of junior swimmers. We might have a junior swimmer actually taking the senior title, and that Scottish record, which has stood for a while, may be under threat.
It may well be, although I wouldn't write off Tane Bruce, who isn't a junior, but who is our fastest qualifier, the only person under 60 seconds this morning. Her main rival on her right side will be Kiana McInnes, the junior swimmer that you tipped there, and Raquel Matos, who's also from Edinburgh University, like Jane, who has also gone very, very close to that Scottish record time. So that'll be a cracking race to set us up. And of course the girls, they are maybe considering a place on the Commonwealth Games team on the medley relay. If that team qualifies, then our fastest butterflyer would hopefully be selected by Commonwealth Games Scotland to participate. So it's a great opening race in prospect.
So you mentioned the Commonwealth Games there, Alan. This is one of the opportunities that Scottish swimmers have to qualify for that team in the Gold Coast next year, isn't it?
It is. We started off the process at Sheffield at the British Championships in April. We've had a period of training since then, and this weekend the 2 events that we've been mentioning, this National Open Championships here in Aberdeen and the European Junior Championships in Israel, are very much a part of the qualification process for the Commonwealth Games. It continues through the rest of July, British Summer Championships, the World Junior Championships in Indianapolis in August, and the World University Games also in August. So by the time the summer has finished, the time everybody's back at school in Scotland, we'll be selecting our team for the Commonwealth Games next year on the Gold Coast.
Well, we'll keep an eye for those qualifying times as we go through tonight, see if we have any more qualifiers. 100 freestyle, of course, has been an event that has really moved on by one of the Scots in very recent times, Duncan Scott.
Yeah, not swimming in the race tonight, of course, but he is still ranked number 1 in the world, and that includes the times on the American Championships, which are being held concurrently this weekend. So Duncan very much the man to beat on that, but although not swimming, we will see him later on in the 200 butterfly. The men's 100 free promises to be a very, very exciting race, and nothing much to speak of between the swimmers this morning. And of course we had young Scott McLeay go 50.0 and in Israel this morning in the heat, so putting the cat amongst the pigeons for relay selection.
Absolutely. And also in the 100 freestyle, it's a multi-classification race for para-swimmers, and we have 2 Paralympians taking part in that final. Stephen Clegg, now representing the University of Stirling, swimmer with a visual impairment, and Andrew Mullen, now back in Scotland. He was in Manchester for a little while. City of Glasgow swimmer, and we may be looking at some records tonight in the multi-class events, Alan.
That's very much your specialty, Paul. I'll be relying on you to keep me right there. But yeah, I've just been talking about the Paralympic Games to our partners next door, and highlighting the fact that everyone is back training in Scotland, and what a great job they and their coaches have done getting them to those 5 Paralympic medals last year in Rio.
Yeah, great results in Rio last year for the Olympic and the Paralympic swimmers. Women's 200 freestyle next up, and again, number of contenders in this one promises to be pretty close. And men's 200 butterfly as well. Cameron Brodie, already a Commonwealth Games finalist, just missing out of the medals for the Commonwealth Games last time in Glasgow. 50 metres backstrokes, we'll have a few sprint events as well. 50 metres breaststroke, well, we have Ross Murdoch going in the B final actually.
He is setting himself up nicely for his 200 breaststroke later in the weekend. He is not going all out on that. He's going to swim 13 strokes per length, and he will be setting himself a target of about 30.3 seconds for that. So not a 50 for him, but a rehearsal for the 200.
We do have a good A final to look forward to. Mark Campbell, Ewan Ingalls and Olympian, of course, Craig Benson right in there as well in the mix, so that should be a very, very tight race, that 50 breaststroke.
Well, it'll be a local lad, Mark Campbell, of course, who's and Ewan Ingalls, who's a local lad, but who's now training at University of Edinburgh, so that'll be a cracking race. Very, very tight, I think, all the way down.
So after the sprints, we move up to the distance events, the women's 400 metres individual medley. Fastest qualifier for the A final, not a Scot this time, but Victoria Gunis from Turkey.
From Turkey, but currently training with University of Edinburgh programme, being ably guided by Shannon Rollison, new addition to the Edinburgh University coaching staff, Australian by way of Denmark. So Guinness, 5 World Junior Championship gold medals in her history. European Junior Champion previously, and a World Junior record holder as well.
Fastest heat of the 1500 freestyle is the last individual event, then we finish with what promises to be an exciting, really always exciting to finish on the relays, the women's 4x200 freestyle. So that's your events for tonight, the very first final session. We're just getting the welcome from our hosts here in Aberdeen. Very well supported by the local authority here and by the university, who have got this great facility here, the Aberdeen Sports Village. It
is terrific, absolutely marvellous. Of course, it will be the venue for the European Junior Championships in 2020, swimming and diving here at the ASV, Aberdeen Sports Village. So terrific venue, real asset to the city and to the Scottish swimming system.
So we're just about ready for the first race, which will be that women's 100 metres butterfly. We have the format of tonight will be the multi-classification final for para swimmers, if we do have one. If we don't have one, it's the B final and then the A final as well. So here are the swimmers getting ready for this first final. We go right along. Lane 0 will be at the bottom of your screen. There's Kirsten Laurie in lane 0, Charlotte Robinson. We'll go in lane 1, the yellow cap of City of Leeds. Get used to the sight of City of Leeds at these championships. Sagina Iguaram in lane 3, Gaia Alcaraz in 3, Meg Finnan in 4, Lauren Mills in lane number 5, Karine Kelly in 6, Kimberly Mackay, a reserve, is in lane 7, Tara Howarth in 8, and Catherine Russell, City of Leeds swimmer, in lane number 9. We are away for the B final. Fastest for this B final was Meg Finnan from South Lanarkshire. She will go in lane number 4. The two yellow lanes in the middle of the pool there. Lane 4 is closest to us, and lane 5 is furthest away. So that's a pretty good way to gauge where we are with these races. It is lane number 5, Laura Mills, University of Stirling, who leads them through there, 29.15.
Yeah, she's typically a very fast starter. I think we'll look to the other girls, particularly Meg Finnan in lane 4, to be chasing her down this second 50, and that's exactly what's happening as Finnan and the others close the gap on Mills into the last 25 metres.
Well, Mills just about holding on there as they come into the last 10 now. Meg Finnan trying to get back on level terms, and she might well be doing it. Meg Finnan, it's all going to be on the touch here, right at the finish here. Meg Finnan with the momentum there, and she does take it in 102.84. A good swim there from Meg Finnan in the closing stages. Laura Mills just missing out by 0.23 of a second, and Gaia Alcaraz only 6/100ths behind University of Stirling. Well, you said, Alan, they might pull her back in the second half of the race. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
but
that's what happens when you get a 50-metre swimmer swimming 100 and 200 swimmers swimming down to 100. You get them dragging them back, pulling her back down the second 50. Meg Finnan, just back from her first year in study in the University of Georgia in America, back with her home programme, East Kilbride, South Lanarkshire, and that's her personal best time, so she'll be very pleased with that.
Well, very good for Meg Finnan. She takes the very first final of this evening, and that time of 102.84, dipping under the 103 mark. She'll be happy with that one. Laura Mills just about held on, but didn't quite make it. On to the A final now. Again, this is one we're looking forward to, Alan.
We certainly are. Yep, Kiana McInnes, Tane Bruce, Raquel Matos, very much the favourites in the three centre lanes. And tactically, I don't think there'll be much between them all the way. Tane Bruce is very good underwater, start and turn. Kiana McInnes is very, very strong on that second 50. So let's see how it shapes up.
Well, there's City of Glasgow swimmer Emily Horn in lane 0. Lane 1, well, the familiar figure of Hannah Miley, always a great supporter of the Scottish Championships. Fiona Donnelly goes for Warrender in lane number 2. Raquel Matos from Edinburgh Uni, she goes in lane number 3. Can she challenge her Edinburgh Uni teammate? There's Tane Bruce. He will be the favourite after that heat swim this morning. But Kiana McInnes, well, can she challenge the Scottish junior record holder? And there is Anna Newlands from Edinburgh University, the third Edinburgh Uni swimmer in this final. The 2 City of Leeds swimmers will be in 7 and 8. Amelia Kleins and Anna Cheeseborough as well in lane number 8. Seems to be a bit of an issue here. The swimmer stepping back from the start. Yasmin Perry is the final swimmer. And there she is, the local swimmer from Aberdeen Performance in lane number 9.
I mentioned earlier casting an eye to the east and Netanya, Israel, where the European Junior Championships are. The 2 Leeds girls there, they were delighted that their teammate, Chiara Slosson, who won a silver medal in the women's 200 fly this evening in Netanya with a very good time of 2 minutes 10.48. So if they're in the kind of form that their teammate is, then that may well be a challenge to these Scots girls inside them in this 100 metres butterfly.
Of course, the medals will be awarded at various intervals throughout the evening. We'll go to the medal presentation. Scottish Junior medal will be awarded. You'll see the Scottish Junior champion, you'll have a Scottish Senior champion and a Scottish Open champion as well. So this promises to be one of the closest races that we're going to see. A real good contest, this one. And again, as you said, Alan, Commonwealth Games places potentially up for grabs here for the first swimmer.
Potentially, the team has to qualify, but whoever wins this race or who sets the fastest time throughout the qualification period this season, I think they stand a very good chance of being selected, because that team should qualify fast enough for next year's Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. So this is not the be-all and end-all this evening, but I think it's a very, very important race to put a marker down.
Well, the Commonwealth Games qualifying time to qualify as right is 58.35. That is a big ask for anyone in this. What might be potential is the Scottish record held by Louise Pate, 59.71. And also Kiana McInnes maybe have a go at her own Scottish junior record, 59.81. Well, pretty even start there. Maybe Raquel Matos and Tane Bruce are ahead of Kiana McInnes at this stage, coming into the turn.
I think that's what we would expect. Tane Bruce very good off the start. She's really determined here. That's a super first 50 split, 27.7. I'll be surprised if we don't get a Scottish record off that. They really should be swimming a low 59 from that kind of split. Look for McInnes coming through strongly on this second 50.
Well, McInnes has got a little bit of work to do. Tame Bruce is holding on to that lead there in that blue cap. Here comes McInnes now, coming in one lane up from her now, but it looked like Tame Bruce is going to hold on to this one. I don't think McInnes is going to get back. It is going to be Tame Bruce, I think. It is Tame Bruce, and it's 59.59. It is a new Scottish record for Tame Bruce. She has shaved 12/100ths off that record held by Louise Pate. It's under the minute for Kiana McInnes. She's only 12/100ths outside her own record. And 59.59 for Tame Bruce. All a great swim, and she held on as she had to. That challenge from Kiana McInnes was coming strong, but Tame Bruce did really well in the closing stages.
She did. 27.76 is a really fast first 50. She did hold on, but she and her coach Chris Jones will be delighted with that swim, and I'm sure we'll be looking to build on that now that she's got that Scottish record and can relax, swim even faster through the rest of this season. Terrific, great swim from Tane, new Scottish record, and fantastic competition.
Well, great swim there. Tame Bruce will be delighted with that one. We're moving quickly on to the next event, which is the men's 100 freestyle multi-classification for para swimmers. We did see Adam Scott go through there. There's Adam Donachie, and there is Kyle Hughes in lane number 2. In lane number 3, Jack Milne. Well, he's been on fire recently. Some great swims last weekend in Sunderland at the British Junior Championships. Stephen Clegg, the Paralympian we spoke about before, British record holder. There's Oliver Carter, the Scottish record holder in his classification. John Law, the visually impaired swimmer, in lane number 6 from Helensburgh. The local man, Rhys Gill, S9 swimmer from Ithan. And there is the Paralympian, multi-Paralympic medalist now from Rio, Andrew Mullen, now swimming in the city of Glasgow. Lots to look out for here on. There's Stephen Clegg, the British record holder, in a time of 54.08. Different classifications we'll see in this one. Stephen Clegg, an S12 swimmer, those with a visual impairment. Jack Milne, S14, swimmer with a learning disability. And Andrew Mullen, well, he's an S5 swimmer, and he's a swimmer with a physical impairment. S1 to 10 are those with physical disabilities, with S1 being the most severe and S10 being the least impaired. So watch out for Andrew Mullen, see if he can challenge his Scottish record. Stephen Clegg, as expected, out ahead. 54.08 is the target for Stephen.
26.1, a little bit cautious out, I think it would be fair to say, on that first 50. Could just about get on his British record time, but certainly looking very strong, has settled in well to his new move in Stirling University programme, and of course with the world-class swimmers that he trains with every day, we're looking for big things from Stephen.
Stephen Clegg coming into the finish now. Is he going to challenge that 54.08? May well just slip by. Oh, 54.31. Good swim from Stephen Clegg. We'll keep an eye on Ollie Carter, and that's a great time for Ollie Carter, and that is inside his own Scottish record for the S10 classification. Well done, Oliver Carter from Carnegie. 58.98. And let's have a look up right at the top of your screen. There is Andrew Mullen, and 1:17 for Andrew Mullen, faster than he went this morning, but just outside the time that he set the Scottish record. And 1:15.90 was Andrew Mullen's Scottish record. There are the times. What a great swim from Oliver Carter. 58.98.
Great stuff, really good, half a second quicker than he went this morning, and I think he and his coach Warwick Mitchell will be delighted with that.
Stephen Clegg coming into the finish now, trying to listen for the announcers here. Stephen Clegg, a swimmer with a visual impairment, he won't be able to see the scoreboard, but he'll listen to what the times are announcing. He's tilting his head to the side there. Stephen Clegg, of course, a family of very successful athletes. His sister, a Paralympic medalist, of course, in athletics. His brother, a Paralympic medalist in swimming in London. And Stephen, the latest in the line of the Cleggs.
Fantastic. We have another dynasty in this particular final, the B final, the men's 100 free. Scott Godby, son of Sharon, and nephew to Ruth and Elaine Gofillin, who are outstanding senior international swimmers of our heritage.
Well, they'll be watching keenly here. Full lineup for this one. It is the B final. Ros Leslie from Edinburgh Uni at the right hand side of your screen there. Angus Barr from University of Stirling in 1. Regan Lloyd from Team Ipswich in 2. Jack Sharanek, Edinburgh Uni in 3. Callum Bain from University of Stirling in 4. Scott Godby in 5. Next to his Edinburgh Uni teammate Chris McComb. Grant Henderson, City of Glasgow in 7. Jamie Coulter, West Lothian in 8. And Joe Watts, City of Glasgow in lane number 9. But a very, very swift start there in lane number 4. That's Callum Bain.
Callum is, I'm sure, disappointed not to be in the main final. He's some 22 seconds for the 53 and using that early speed to get himself a body length ahead of everyone else and looking, I think, to a very good time here.
Contest is for second because Callum Bain has dominated this one. 51.04 for Callum Bain, a full second faster than he went in qualification heats this morning. It's Jack Sharanek in second position, 52.23, and Scott Godby, the man you picked out at the start there, Alan, third place in that one, 52.38.
Yeah, it was a good race for the others. As I said in commentary, Callum will have been disappointed not to have gone quick enough this morning to make that main final. He just missed out by a couple of tenths of a second, and I think that faster race probably was what he needed to draw himself to a better performance this evening. But well done him, courageous, positive swim, and 51.0, good evening's work. Some of our coaches there, City of Glasgow, Ian Wright on the left and Lewis Smith, former international swimmer, on the right.
We'll be watching this final. It's the fast guys here. Kieran McGuckin is the first swimmer we see. He goes in lane 0 for the men's 100 freestyle A final. Jack Warren Ballard, first of 3 University of Stirling swimmers all in a row here. Jack Warren Ballard in lane number 1. Next to him is his University of Stirling teammate Martin Walton. Craig McLean goes in lane number 3. Jack Thorpe had a good swim this morning. He goes in lane number 4, the only swimmer under the 50-second mark. But Stephen Milne, Olympic medalist, of course, in Rio, he goes in lane number 5. David Cumberledge from Edinburgh Uni goes in lane number 6. He could be a threat. Not a Scot, despite swimming for Edinburgh Uni. Jarvis Parkinson from London Aquatics in 7. Jordan Hughes in 8. And Brian O'Sullivan, the final man to take his place in this final. He's from Loughborough University in lane number 9. Well, excellent swim from Jack Thorpe from Edinburgh University. Also a very good swim from Stephen Milne. Both of them just under and just over the 50-second mark. We said, Alan, Scott McLean had gone 50.09 this morning. Can any of these guys challenge that time? Of course, again, as in the girls' races, really places potential up for grabs here.
The men's 4x100 freestyle really has already qualified with the fastest 4 swimmers from Sheffield, so places on that team are very much at a premium. Stephen Milne, a great turn there. David Cumberledge, also more of a 50-man, taking the race out. I think Milne and Thorpe will be the men to chase down this last 50 or 25 metres or so. It's a great race. Milne, famous for his tight finishes, getting his hands on the wall, but Cumberledge just trying to hold on.
And Milne might do it. Milne might get in here, and it is Jack Thorpe actually, 49.94. I really thought Milne had got the touch there. 49.99 for Stephen Milne. He misses out by 5/100ths of a second. Cumberledge just overtaken in the closing stages there, 50.01, but 49.94 for Jack Thorpe. It's a tenth slower than he went this morning, but it was good enough to win that final tonight.
I think what's positive there is that Jack won the race, that he's under 50 seconds again, which he's done several times already this season, and I think it takes some great confidence from that. I'm sure he's not expecting to swim his best times here, so winning that race was important. Stephen Milne under 50 seconds, I'm sure he'll be thrilled. And in 4th place, although not featuring on the podium, Craig McLean's time was the best time, and that will also make him feature very strongly in the discussions by the selectors for the Commonwealth Games come the end of the season.
Oh, I just thought coming into the end there, Alan, that Stephen Milne had that one. He kind of was coming from behind there, but Jack Thorpe had a very good finish there.
Really good. I
Take that
think Jack's had a terrific season, having swum as fast as he did in Sheffield, got himself on the podium behind Duncan Scott in that fast race, and winning that race, as I said, will be a real fillip to him. He's beating an Olympic silver medalist and his teammate who's much faster than him on the 50, so that's a terrific performance. Here are the girls from the 100 butterfly.
So Raquel Matos there, the bronze medalist. Kiana McInnes with that silver medal performance, 59.93. But what a swim from the Scottish champion in a new Scottish record time, Tane Bruce from Edinburgh University. What an excellent performance that was for Tane Bruce, taking that gold medal in the 100 metres butterfly.
Almost interrupted there by some of the swim fans. I think the headphones and the microphone should have given them a clue that we were live on air there.
Kiana McInnes accepting the award for the junior champion. She is a junior record holder, only 0.1 of a second outside that. So Kiana McInnes in great form too.
I think so. Everyone's at different stages of the season. It's the national championships, and obviously podium places are important. But she's at the World Junior Championships in still another 5-6 weeks away yet. So her stage of training will be very much to test herself out here and not necessarily to swim best times. So look out for Tane later in the summer swimming faster, and also for Kiana at the end of the summer trying to challenge for that Commonwealth Games selection place.
Medal presentations now for the men's multi-classification. You see the bronze medalist there, the man on the right hand side, Andrew Mullen, taking the bronze medal. Of course, the multi-classification medals are awarded on how close the swimmers are in terms of points to the world record for their classification. So Andrew Mullen, although we saw him finish down the rankings in that race, he was closest to the world record for his class. Jack Milne, the young man from Dundee, the silver medalist, and Stephen Clegg just outside his own British record in the green there. He will take the gold medal, and they're all getting down to have the pictures taken with Andrew Mullen. Jack Millen on the left, Andrew Mullen on the right, Stephen Clegg, the champion there, making his way back to his teammates there. Good swim from Stephen. Of course, the swimmers will be looking to the World Championships later on the year. September is the World Championships for IPC.
And selection for that British team at the Para World Championships will be taking place in Sheffield in about a month's time at the British Summer Championships. Another integrated event, as we can see here, where it's just a swimming event. Doesn't matter if you're a para swimmer, an able-bodied swimmer, what your classification is. You swim fast, and that's just the way we like it.
These guys were certainly swimming fast. David Cumberledge on the right, the bronze medalist. Stephen Milne was the silver medalist, just being touched out by Jack Thorpe there. And Angus Nicol is the junior champion. He swam in the heats this morning, was the fastest junior swimmer.
Indeed, City of Glasgow. So there we are, big lads, big strong lads, just fresh from the race. Just about keeping their balance there on the podium.
Stephen Milne just about toppling off there. He's got a big smile on his face. Be pleased to get under that 52nd mark.
Yeah, I think he'll be thrilled at that. And not so happy at losing the race, but I think it's one of these barriers. It's like breaking a minute. Breaking 50 seconds is something that swimmers strive to do in their career. Interesting headgear.
Anything that helps. Well, the next final just about ready to go. It's the women's 200 freestyle B final. Molly Wright in lane 0 from Nova Centurion. Meg Finnan back in the water again, South Lanarkshire in lane number 1. Alice Alcaraz from Aberdeen Performance in 2. Courtney Price, Nova Centurion in 3. Gulsum O'Neill from City of Glasgow in 4. Emily Horn, City of Glasgow in 5. Sophie Smith, St Thomas in 6. Samantha Caulfield from Edinburgh Uni in 7. Melanie Hall from Royal Wolverhampton in 8. And Katie Robertson goes in lane number 9. This is the B final. This one should decide where the junior champion comes from. Sophie Smith and Katie Robertson. Sophie Smith in 6. Katie Robertson in the outside lane in 9. they'll be fighting it out for that Scottish junior title.
Taken out strongly, Gilsum Onal, once of West Lothian, now of City of Glasgow, better known for her prowess on the 50 and the 100 free, but this is a really positive swim from her out in 59.3 seconds. Sophie Smith in the junior race is comfortably ahead out in 60.93, but Katie Robertson came back strongly this morning in the heats, and I wouldn't write her off for that junior title just yet. But out front, Gilsum Onal is still in the lead, but being pulled in now by her teammate Emily Horn.
Yeah, it's the two City of Glasgow swimmers in 4 and 5 inside those yellow lanes there. Gilsum Onal just with about half a body length lead here. One lane up from the two leaders, that's Sophie Smith. And right at the top is Katie Robertson. There's the battle for the junior title, which looks like Sophie Smith has got at the moment, but one more drive to the finish here. Gilsum Onal, Emily Horn, also Courtney Price coming back to contention there, the green cap of Nova, and Katie Robertson going really well at the top there, trying to challenge for that junior title, but it could be Gilsum Onal will get this one, I think. It's a close finish, but Gilsum Onal gets it, 2:03.15. Emily Horn in second place there, 2:03.37, and Courtney Price in third, but a good swim there from Gilsum Onal. And the junior title, well, it was very close, but it was Katie Robertson in the outside lane.
Yeah, we should put some sweeties on a wager there, Paul. I think I would have won the bag of Haribo. Other sweets are available, obviously, but yeah, she's coming on strong, not just on a breaststroke, which is her main stroke, but on freestyle and on medley. And she swam a great race this morning, came through strongly, and I think her coach Byron Steriker will have said to her, just sneak in on that finish on the last 50, which is exactly what she did, pipping Sophie Smith by the smallest of margins.
Well, she sneaked into the final there, just in the final slot for that B final, and she's taken that Scottish junior title. Great stuff from Katie Robertson, and a good swim front of the field. Gilsum Onal taking that B final. Now for the A final, Hayley Monteith for Edinburgh University goes in lane number 0. Georgia Coates, the GB Olympic swimmer, City of Leeds, took it fairly comfortably this morning in the heats. Emily Jones goes in 2 for Edinburgh Uni. Camilla Hattersley, another one of these Olympic swimmers, she goes City of Glasgow in lane 3. Catherine Greenslade looked very, very good in the heats this morning. Edinburgh Uni, she goes in 4. Lucy Hope goes in 5, also Edinburgh Uni. Back in the water again is Hannah Miley. Great Hannah Miley, of course, going over this 200 freestyle. Maybe a little bit short for Hannah Miley. 200 freestyle, but we'll see how she goes. Rebecca Murray goes in 7. Nikki Miller will go in lane number 8. And Natasha Houghton, she had a good swim to make it into this A final this morning. She goes in the outside lane. Greenslade was the fastest in here, 2 minutes point 57. But I think there was a number of swimmers holding back this morning. I'd imagine we see some fast times.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think it'll be how many go under 2 minutes in this race, to be fair. Greenslade was very positive. She was the only one who really committed to the heats this morning, and she's regularly been swimming underneath 2 minutes over this phase of the season. Lucy Hope, I think, will be very positive on this first 100, so, and off she goes.
Well, first to show probably is Lucy Hope. Said also going well on the very top there. Natasha Houghton maybe in second position as they go over the first 50. Natasha Houghton it is in second place. Lucy Hope 28.00, just leading Catherine Greenslade in lane number 4 right next to her. So the two in the centre lanes there look like they're forging ahead, but there's still not much in it. Natasha Houghton having a very good swim in the outside lane there, and Nikki Miller coming through with her as well, so probably about third and fourth there at the top. Well, coming through in the centre now, Camilla Hattersley, and at the halfway point it's still Lucy Hope with Greenslade in second and Hattersley in third.
This is a really tough time standard to make the Commonwealth Games team on this individual event, but the more girls we can get under 2 minutes, the closer they may get to qualifying that 4x200 freestyle team. And Lucy Hope swimming really well this morning and is beginning to pull away from her more recognised teammate on this event, Greenslade, but it's between the two of them, I think, down this last 50.
Yeah, it's very, very close between the two leaders still. Just 0.15 seconds separating them at that final turn. Lucy Hope just for the edge. A very good turn from Catherine Greenslade here. She's come back alongside Lucy Hope now as they come into the last half length here. Lucy Hope just holding on, but it does look like Catherine Greenslade is just about forging ahead of Lucy Hope here. It's going to be two good times here, but Greenslade is going to get in lane number 4 ahead of Lucy Hope. It's going to be Greenslade will take it in 1:58.27. Lucy Hope 1:58.85, and in third place was Hattersley in 2:61, with fourth place going to Emily Jones 2:02.12. Well, that was hard work for the two leaders, and Greenslade just taking that one in 1:58.27.
Yeah, just the two swimmers under 2 minutes, which was a wee bit of a surprise, but very good swimming up front from Greenslade and Lucy Hope. Very positive attacking swimming, and the teammates will be very well pleased with their evening's work so far.
And there's the finish. Yeah, just about half a second separating the top two there. No time for us to take a breath, Alan, because we move right on to the next one.
Fast and furious, Paul, fast and furious. It's great stuff. There's something for everyone in all of these races, whether it's personal best times, whether it's podium places, process goals, you name it. There's lots at stake.
Mark Ford goes in lane 0 for City of Glasgow in this next event. It's the men's 200 metres butterfly. Dan Wilson goes in lane 1 for Nova Centurion. Conor McNeil from City of Glasgow in 2. Cameron Finlayson from Edinburgh University in 3. James Black, West Lothian in 4. Kane Murcutt from Royal Wolverhampton in 5. Murray Quellen from Aberdeen Performance in 6. William Murden from University of Stirling in 7. Craig Greenock in 8 from North Lanarkshire, and Liam Birrell from City of Leeds in lane number 9. This is the B final of the men's 200 metres butterfly. The two fastest qualifiers there side by side, James Black and Kane Murdoch. 200 metres butterfly, Alan, it can be a tactical race, this 200 metres butterfly.
Yeah, it's more tactical, I think, internally than externally. You're not responding too much to what other people are doing, but you're certainly trying to pace the race correctly to get through the first 50, the first 75, even the first 100 with the minimum of effort and the maximum efficiency, so that you can absolutely optimise whatever energy you have over the second 100 and importantly down that last 50. So not too strongly out, I think, is the message from the coaches on 200 butterfly.
Well, Murray Quellen is the man from Aberdeen Performance who has taken it out the stronger. 27.67 for the local. And he still has the lead there. He's pulling through. And Kane Murcutt in second position there. So 59.93, only one under the 1 minute mark at the halfway point. Kane Murcutt 101.02. And in third place, Craig Greenock up there in lane number 8. But Murray Quellen now just trying to hold on to this lead that he's got. It's a very handy lead there, over a second at the halfway point, and it looks pretty similar as they come up to the final turn.
Holding on, I think, is the key phrase though, Paul. As soon as he came off that 100 turn, the keen observers watching this race will have seen that he's now trying hard, and the first 100, although it looked easy to us, was clearly not as easy as he would have liked. He's beginning to push back a little bit. The third 50 wasn't great, but he's holding it together a lot better now on this last 50. He'll certainly win the race, but I think he was a little bit positive on that first 100, and perhaps he and his coach will talk about that tactically afterwards.
Well, Murray Quellen is going to win this one. He is pulling away from the rest of the field, and we'll see if he can go better than his time qualification. He goes much better actually, 205.77, very good indeed for Murray Quellen, a massive improvement from what he did this morning. 208 for Kane Murcutt in second, and James Black in third, 209.59. So Murray Quellen be pleased with that time of 205.77 to take this one, but as you said, Alan, it looked like it was hard work.
The third 50 certainly looked hard work. He actually held it together really well down that last 50, but as he got to about the 125 mark. I was fearing for his safety. It looked like the elephant was about to jump on his back, but credit to Murray, he held the stroke together really nicely on that last 50 and actually finished the race off really well. So credit to him, well done, and I'm sure lessons to be learned for him for the rest of the season.
Big gap between Murray Quillen and the rest of the field, so he'll be pleased with his performance in that B final. And now we see the swimmers making their way on to poolside for the A final. And a couple of big names that we'll look out for, certainly in the centre lanes here. This should be a cracking race.
We have double Olympic silver medalist Duncan Scott, lane 4, fastest qualifier. Not his premier event, but he's certainly no slouch on butterfly, 100, 200, and of course a pretty significant medley swimmer as well. So he'll be trying to set the standard here for his more recognised butterfly teammate Cameron Brodie and young Ryan Brown, just out the junior ranks this year into the seniors in lane 3.
We've seen Alistair Miley go through there, Aberdeen Performance. Callum Laurie we see now in lane number 1, University of Stirling. The red cap of Warrender, Callum Reid, goes in 2. Ryan Brown, we spoke about him, Alan, City of Glasgow in 3. The big tour in the centre, Duncan Scott in lane number 4 and Cameron Brodie in lane number 5. Thomas Perabonio from Edinburgh University, the Ecuadorian swimmer, goes in lane 6. Archie Goodburn, that red cap of Warrender again, with Joseph Miley, the second Miley in this final, and Jonah Walsh, the third Warrender swimmer, in the outside lane. So Duncan Scott and Cameron Brodie in the centre. Well, Cameron Brodie, I always remember his swim in the previous Commonwealth Games, 4th place, just missing out on the medals. Would dearly love to go to another Commonwealth Games. Qualification standard they're looking for, it's 1:57.28.
Yeah, it's a tough standard. Cameron did 1:56 in Glasgow when he finished in 4th place, so well capable of doing that time, and just missed that in Sheffield in April, so he'll be looking to get very close to that, indeed get under that tonight, and typically he's out with a strong first 50.
Well, Duncan Scott, we spoke about him before, a man who's really setting the pace in the 100 freestyle, and he's already made a qualification time, of course, for the Commonwealth Games, but not in this event.
Not in this event, and there'll be some interesting discussions between himself, his coach Steve Tigg, and the national team staff to work out just what events he intends to do next year in Gold Coast. This may or may not be one of those.
Well, that's Cameron Brodie coming in there. He's in second position, 57.19. He's half a second behind Duncan Scott, and it's now the two University of Stirling swimmers trying to push each other through to that qualification standard of 1:57.28. Third place is Ryan Brown, and he's coming back into contention as well. Ryan Brown with the blue cap there.
Yeah, he's never been under 2 minutes. Last year he was in the European Junior Championships and swam very well, so his best time for 100 fly there. And recently just back from training camp in Spain on the Mediterranean coast of Calais, and looking like it's done on the power of good.
Well, it certainly has. Ryan Brown really pulled up there on that third 50, and he's catching Duncan Scott now. Duncan Scott is just ahead of Cameron Brodie and Ryan Brown on either side of him. It looks like it is going to be Duncan Scott will take this one. Cameron Brodie coming back as well, trying to get on terms now with Ryan Brown, and they're all closing together. It could well be Duncan Scott. On the finish, it is Duncan Scott in 1:59.75. It was Ryan Brown in second, and that was a good swim from Ryan Brown, 2:30.30, and Cameron Brodie 2:60. And a very good swim there from Ryan Brown. The second half of that race was excellent.
Very good best time, I believe, for him, certainly on his best, and a welcome return to form for Ryan, who had some injury problems earlier in the season. Cameron, I think, will be a little bit disappointed, not so much with the time, but just the way in which his stroke shortened towards the end of that race. But of course, bigger things for him to come later in the season with the British Championships and the World University Games in August. So certainly not a shave and taper meet for Cameron, and we'll see in the debrief what he makes of that.
Well, Duncan Scott taking that one under the 2-minute mark. And Ryan Brown there in second position, taking maybe a slightly surprising second position. We were kind of trailing Cameron Brodie and Duncan for the top 2 places, but well done Ryan Brown getting into that silver medal position. Medal presentations to come now for the previous events. I'm just about to move on to these presentations now. 200 freestyle for women. We'll see, and that was a very, very tight race at the finish there. The 2 Edinburgh University swimmers getting in first and second position.
Yeah, good strong swim from Catherine Greenslade up in front at 1:58, their best time. Welsh swimmer, of course, so we'll be featuring for them next year in Australia. Camilla Hattersley with the bronze medal from City of Glasgow, a Rio Olympian. That isn't Lucy Hope. Lucy is about to swim in the next race, so she is either swimming down or in the call room for that, so that's a teammate. And there is her other teammate who won the gold medal, Catherine Greenslade. Medals being awarded by Scottish Swimming Board member and Aberdeen University Director of France, David Beattie.
And the Scottish champion will be Lucy Hope. Catherine Greenslade, although she wasn't, although she swam for Edinburgh University, not a Scot, so can't be the Scottish champion. And there's Katie Robertson. Your pick for that junior title. Well done, Alan. Got to hand it to you. Outside lane flyer there.
Sometimes I get things right, Paul.
So the 2 champions at the top there, Katie Robertson. Now, I think the substitute for Lucy Hope just explaining. No, I'm not the right person.
Yeah, don't get me in that picture, I think was what she said. Somebody else can work it out on the social media feed later on.
Absolutely. We haven't really had time to do any of your tweets tonight, but keep them coming in. We'll see if we can get a few tweets read out very shortly. Messages of congratulations for some of the swimmers as well from their clubs. Carnegie congratulating Ollie Carter on his record performance. There's Cameron Brodie, the race we've just seen. Bronze medalist in that 200 metres butterfly. The silver medalist, well, it was Ryan Brown. Swam very well to get in ahead of Cameron Brodie. And there's Duncan Scott taking that one, the only man under the 2-minute mark, 1:59.75. And the junior champion, the only junior that was in that A final, it's Archie Goodburn from Warrender-Bath. So junior title for Archie Goodburn in that 200 metres butterfly.
Archie, of course, will be off to Hungary, to Győr, to the European Youth Olympic Festival in a few weeks' time to represent Great Britain, along with our Anglo-Scot Charlie Hutchison from Ellesmere College.
There's lots going on this year, isn't there, Alan? Lots of competitions around.
It's a very, very busy summer. It's a very, very busy programme here this evening. We're just about halfway through after these finals. Women's 50 backstroke from the other end of the pool. A couple of quick dashes for the ladies, followed by the men's 50 breaststroke. A couple of even quicker dashes for the guys off the blocks.
Well, we've seen a couple of record performances already this morning. Tame Bruce in that 100 metres butterfly. Ollie Carter in the men's S10 multi-classification, 100 freestyle. I wonder what this young lady can do. That's Kaylee Hagel from South Ayrshire. Swam a 2-second personal best in the heats this morning, 1:02.87. She's going to have to do something a little bit similar to that performance if she's going to break the Scottish record, 59.70, held by one of Scotland's great Paralympians, Maggie McElhenny.
Resident of my hometown, Port Glasgow.
There you go. Maggie, multi-Paralympic medalist gold medalist. And the young lady, Kaylee Hagel from South Ayrshire, she's in the S5 classification. Remember, multi-classification swimmers for those with physical impairments, S1 to 10 are those with physical impairments, S1 being the most severe disability, S10 being the least impaired. So Kaylee Hagel is affected in all 4 limbs. She's in the S5 class. Very, very tough standard for her. She's the only swimmer in this one. She has to gauge herself against the Scottish record held by the great Maggie McElhenny, but she will be trying to get another personal best at the very least. 102.87 that she went this morning. Let's hope she can get inside that. The stroke rate just kind of decreasing now as she comes into the final stages. She went off like a rocket, Kaylee Hagel, but now she's got to really hold on in the closing stages. 102.87. It would be great if she can improve that again, and it's going to be very close. Oh, she got it. Well, 103.65. Not sure if she actually touched the wall very hard there, Alan. We'll just wait for confirmation of that. Maybe she did.
Yeah, there might be an adjustment to that. It looks certainly visually where we're sitting that she had touched the wall ahead of 103.65, but if the adjustment doesn't come, it's a great experience for Kaylee to be at this event and swimming alongside these world-class performers.
She may well have just missed the finish there. She was right on her PB again. See that affected on all 4 limbs, Kaylee Hagel, and she gets into the finish and just about 103 there. We'll just wait for the confirmed result of that, but well done, Kaylee Hagel, a youngster that hopefully we'll see a lot more of in the future, trying to break some of Maggie McElhenny's record. I'm sure Maggie won't mind at all for youngsters coming up to challenge those long-standing records.
Indeed. Any record that stands for a long time is always up there to be challenged, and Maggie's records are no different.
50 metres backstroke, the B final. We're still up on the end of the pool, opposite the scoreboard end. Laura McKenzie from Edinburgh University goes in lane 0. Erin Cummins from the University of Stirling is going in lane number 1. Caitlin Duffy from South Ayrshire in lane number 2. Jennifer King is in lane number 3 from South Lanarkshire. Anna Newlands from Edinburgh Uni has gone in. Just see an adjustment to the time we're hearing in the venue for Kaylee Hagel. We didn't think she touched properly, and that was the case. It didn't quite register on the boards. 102.98, so she's under the 103. Consistent stuff for Kaylee Hagel, just a tenth slower than she went this morning. Yeah,
that's great. It's really good, as I said. Great opportunity for her to mix it with the other swimmers around here, one of whom is Anna Newlands there in the shot.
Anna Newlands in 4. We got to her in the line-up. Courtney Price from Nova Centurion in 5. Lauren Mills, Danielle Joyce and Megan Briggs in 6, 7 and 8 from University of Stirling, and Robin Crawford in lane 9 from City of Glasgow.
Of course, the swimmers have a red marker on the lane lines there that you can see 15 metres away from the wall, and that's the maximum distance they can go before their head has to break the surface. Used to good effect, I think, there from Courtney Price of Nova Centurion.
Yeah, that green cap of Nova Centurion maybe just edging it, but it's very, very tight indeed. Lane number 4 coming back now. Anna Newlands maybe forging ahead in the closing stages here. It looks like it is going to be Anna Newlands, I think, and it is in 29.79. Jennifer King in second under the 30-second mark in 29.98, and Courtney Price in 30.08. And also in there, Danielle Joyce, the British record holder for deaf swimmers, 30.78, just 4/100 shy of her own deaf British record. So very good stuff from Danny Joyce on her way to the Deaf Olympics very soon.
She is indeed, I think, with one of our other young men from City of Glasgow swim team.
Yeah, Jack McComish is swum this morning. Jack McComish and Danny Joyce on their way to the Deaf Olympics. So Danny Joyce looking in great form, but that heat went to Anna Newlands with Jennifer King in second. They'd be pleased to be under the 30-second mark faster than they went this morning.
This is going to be a very tight race, I think, in the middle lanes. Some ladies very keen to set the Commonwealth Games qualification standard, and right in the mix, Lizzie Simmons, outstanding Olympian, British record holder on the 200 backstroke. They'll be trying to take the title away from these Scottish women.
There's Emily Grant, University of Stirling, in lane number 0. Karen Reid from Edinburgh University in lane number 1. Cassie Wilde from Ellesmere goes in lane 2. There's Lizzie Simmons, the Olympian, now swimming for Edinburgh University. Lucy Hope back in the water again. She will be going in the fast lane in lane 4. Kathleen Dawson, Scottish record holder, will be next to her in lane number 5. Kirsty Simpson should be in lane number 6. There she is. And in lane number 7, Natasha Houghton, again back in the water again. Busy night for some of these ladies. Lexi Waller in 8. And Caroline McIntosh in lane number 9. That is the lineup for the 50 metres backstroke. All delighted to be here, as you can see.
Caroline looks as if she's thrilled to be swimming beside her teammates over there on the far side of the pool.
Commonwealth Games qualifying standard 28.56. Kathleen Dawson, Scottish record holder, and Lucy Hope in lane 4 would be favourites for this one. I wonder if anyone else can challenge that 28.56 qualifying time.
Using the 15 metres to maximum effect, the girls in the middle lane there. Lizzie Simmons, great underwater exponent. Kathleen Dawson going with her stroke for stroke down this 50 metre event. Also going well, Lucy Hope in lane number 2.
Yeah, it's lane 4 and 5. Kathleen Dawson and Lucy Hope now. Could be Kathleen Dawson into the wall. She stretches for it, and she has got 28.11, and that is a new Scottish record for Kathleen Dawson. Well, 28.11 and stretching for the wall at the end there, Alan.
That's a very, very good swim. Great start. Stroke for stroke with Lizzie Simmons all the way down, and again an excellent finish too. So super stuff from Kathleen. Also a personal best time, and well inside that Commonwealth Games qualifying standard from Lucy Hope. Cassie Wilde also 28 points. She'll be pleased with that too, as a precursor to her stronger event, the 100, in a couple of days' time.
Well, here is Kathleen Dawson coming in to the finish here. I don't think she quite spotted that there. Just a little bit of a stretch. Not too bad from that angle. But 28.11 is a 1/100th improvement on her own Scottish record. That's the way to do it.
It's called the Sergei Bubka world record strategy. Beat it by a centimetre at a time, as he used to do in the pole vault. Kathleen taking that to heart and doing it 1/100th of a second at a time on these Scottish women's backstroke records. Great stuff.
That's a nice trick if you can do it there, and a great swim there for Kathleen Dawson. Another Scottish record falls tonight.
Yeah, it's been great stuff really on those two events. Perhaps unexpected, because some of those swimmers will not necessarily be at their tip-top best this season. So they're racing, bringing out the very, very best of these female swimmers. And now we turn our attention to the men and the 50 breaststroke. Look out for Ross Murdoch in lane 5. Counter strokes 13, and see if he can swim 30.3 seconds. That's the challenge.
Well, keep an eye on Ross Murdoch. He goes in lane number 5. And the swimmers just about making their way out now to the start. Here they come. This is the B final of the 50 breaststroke. Not usual that we do see Ross Murdoch in B finals. As you said, Alan, not an event that he was really targeting.
No, this is a rehearsal race practice for the first 50 of his 200 metres breaststroke, where he'll be obviously looking to maintain the form over the last couple of years, where he won the Commonwealth Games and won the European Championships last year. So Ross has his sights set on the World Championships in Budapest in late July, and spoke to him just between the sessions, and as I mentioned a couple of times previously, 13 strokes will be his target, and 30.3 seconds will be the time. If he's there or thereabouts with those two markers, then he'll be very pleased with his evening's work in preparation for the 200.
Was the finish for the 50 backstroke there. A bit of a stretch there for Kathleen Dawson, but it was good enough for a new Scottish record time, 28.11 for Kathleen Dawson, just ahead of Lucy Hope, 28.18 for Lucy Hope, which was also an excellent time for her, just 7/100ths behind Dawson in the end. And those two inside the Commonwealth Games standard, but they'd already achieved that standard for this event, those two.
They had, but obviously both swimming quicker, which is great stuff. And it's like a dive at finish from Kathleen, right, as opposed to a very flat and slapping finish. So good exponent of that, really stretching out. And when we see it in slow motion and do the analysis, as the coaches and swimmers will do later, there'll be a judgment as to whether or not she could have got anything more out of that finish. She probably was on the limit there. I think she was in the red line in terms of whether that stroke was just the right one to finish on. But it worked. Scottish record, Commonwealth Games standard, very good.
Certainly did. We're on to the next one now. We will see Ross Murdoch in lane 5. We do see Morgan Berryman in lane 0. Andrew McFadgen will go in lane number 1. Andrew Hosey in lane number 2. Cameron Park in 3. Jack McComish on his way to the Deaf Olympics. He will go in 4. There's Ross Murdoch in 5. Alistair Wright in 6. Cameron Muir in 7. Ross Neely in 8. And Charlie Waddingham in lane number 9, completing the lineup. The University of Stirling swimmer in the outside lane. In the yellow lanes, Jack McComish in lane number 4 and Ross Murdoch in lane number 5. Keep your eye on Ross Murdoch, Alan says. Well, very close in the early stages here. Ross Murdoch there in the top of that yellow lane. Just heading. Jack McComish here, and also going well is Alistair Wright of Loughborough University. But it does look like Ross Murdoch is going to take this one. Looking very relaxed, as you said. 29.90 for Ross Murdoch. 30.09 for Jack McComish. And in third position was Cameron Park. Well, it was a good swim there for Ross Murdoch. What was his stroke count, Alan? Were you counting there?
I was counting, that's why I was silent. 14 strokes, 29.9. He will probably think that was just a little bit too short. He just got a bit short in the middle of that 50, which took him to the extra stroke. So a bit of work still to be done, of course, perfecting their performance, these elite swimmers, to make sure that they're at their best when it really counts. But 29.9, 14 strokes. We'll see what Ross and his coach Ben Higson make of that in a few minutes' time.
Well, there is Ross Murdoch coming into the finish there. He is one of the world's very, very best breaststrokers. I mean, he kind of burst onto the scene at the Commonwealth Games. It's hard to believe that's 3 years ago that he won the Commonwealth Games title in Glasgow. That was an absolutely superb swim on that first night of competition in Glasgow.
It is. Now we're off to the big fast guys on the final of the A-final of the men's 50 metres breaststroke. 2 people in this race have already set qualifying standards for the Gold Coast next year. That's Ewan Ingalls and Mark Campbell.
Yep, this is the A-final. We do see Aaron Dolan from North Lanarkshire going in lane number 0. Ed Raffipe from Aberdeen Dolphins in lane number 1. There's Daniel Lim. He goes for Edinburgh Uni in lane number 2. Craig Benson from the University of Stirling trying to achieve that qualification standard. He goes in 3. Mark Campbell also with a already with a standard to his name, should go in lane 4. Although we don't see him. Ewan Ingalls in lane number 5. He's also achieved that standard. Chris Kerr goes in lane 6 from Warrender. Greg Watson from City of Glasgow in 7. Kieran Preston in lane number 8 from Edinburgh University. And the only junior in this final, again, he will be the Scottish junior champion if he completes this race, is Archie Goodburn from Warrender Baths. Well, do you see Mark Campbell now from Aberdeen Dolphins taking the start? We didn't see him on the blocks there, but he's there now. And there's Ewan Ingalls ready for this one. Well, qualification time already achieved by Ewan Ingalls and Mark Campbell. Can they be joined with by anyone else? The even start there. Campbell possibly just ahead of Ewan Ingalls off the dive, but Ewan Ingalls have come back very strongly there as they get into the swim. It's Campbell in the black cap, Ewan Ingalls in the white cap there. Benson just one lane below them, and also Chris Kerr in the red cap of Warrender. But here comes Ewan Ingalls now, powering through. Benson also coming back as Ewan Ingalls will take it in 27.87. It's Craig Benson in second, 28.13. And in third position, it was Mark Campbell, 28.16. So Ewan Ingalls taking that one, powering through at the end.
Yeah, a little bit of tidying up to be done, I think, there from these men and their coaches. A little bit scrappy, I think, the tension of the event getting to them in terms of the stroke length. Stroke rates were very, very high. Ewan Ingalls was, let's just call it sloppy on the finish. I think his mother, who's doing the commentary here in the pool hall, was screeching, if you heard that. Thankfully no language to apologise for, but yeah, I think there's plenty to work on for those guys. The two who've already done the times will be pleased with their work in Sheffield, but looking to perhaps go a bit better than that this evening. It was a good swim from Benson, a good swim from Chris Kerr as well, and yeah, it's an event that we're obviously very, very strong at.
There is Ewan Ingalls, as Alan said, Sandra Ingalls right next to us here. There was no bad language in that screeching for her son there. He's done well though, he's won that race. He's seen off the challenge of Campbell and Chris Kerr and Craig Benson. Wasn't the best of times that we've seen, but Ewan Ingalls and Mark Campbell have already achieved that standard, so it still remains to be seen whether anyone else can join them in that 50 metres breaststroke qualification for consideration for the Commonwealth Games next year.
Yeah, all to swim for, I think, still with a spot open on that, and of course opportunities for them to improve their own rankings as well. So yeah, the boys will be reasonably pleased, maybe a wee bit frustrated with the overall outcomes, and plenty to work on, as I said.
He's a medalist now for the women's race, the women's 50 metres backstroke. Lizzie Simmons takes the bronze medal, Edinburgh University. She was in contention, certainly in the early stages of that one. As you said, Alan, great exponent of the underwater. She uses that to great effect in short course swimming. Lucy Hope, great swim from her, 28.18, just shy of the Scottish record, but a new Scottish record by 1/100th of a second. That was Kathleen Dawson from the University of Stirling. And this young lady goes from strength to strength. A great year last year, didn't she, Alan?
Yeah, fantastic year last year. She didn't get selected for the Olympic Games, which was a little bit of a disappointment for her at the time. However, she went to the European Championships in London and won herself a couple of medals, a bronze in the 100 back and a gold in the women's 4x100 medley relay. So yeah, fantastic summer that Kathleen had. She's been getting better season by season, and one of our strongest female swimmers. So yeah, fantastic performance this evening. Another Scottish record. She could paper her walls with the certificates, I think, Paul.
Brilliant. She's just edging that Scottish record up. Lexi Waller was the junior champion. See her there in the centre. And there are the medals that they are trying to achieve. The gold, silver and bronze for the Scottish champions. The junior gold medal on the side as well. And those will be the medals for the next medal presentation for the men's 50 metres breaststroke. They want to get this after the races, the medal presentations presented as soon as possible. Always great to have the swimmers there to collect their medals if at all possible, but they want to get in for their swim down after these hard races.
Yeah, I think it's for the people who are watching this on the live stream, for the spectators and other swimmers in the pool hall, it's important that they show up and get recognised for their achievements. Multiple swims in the evening, of course, mean that sometimes a substitute has to be found, but great to see all of these guys up for the medals. Craig Benson there, and national champion Ewan Ingalls.
Pleased to be the champion. He'll be slightly disappointed with the time, as Mark Campbell, the bronze medalist, says congratulations. Craig Benson, the silver medalist. And Archie Goodburn, another Scottish junior title and a new Scottish junior record, we're hearing, Alan.
Yes, Archie Goodburn is another of these multi-event swimmers, good on all 4 strokes, good at individual medley, and very much a prospect for the future if he continues to develop.
So another record to add to the tally tonight.
Yeah, good swimming from Archie. 50 breaststroke, nowhere near his best event, but obviously going well if he's setting national junior records along the way.
And the Commonwealth Games, of course, does have the 50-metre events as well, the form strokes. There's a good opportunity for the sprinters.
Yeah, the sprinters, Adam Peaty included, a bit disappointed that the IOC didn't include the Form 50s in the new event programme for the Olympic Games in Tokyo, so we'll have to look for the mixed relays instead to win some more medals.
Yeah, that's right. Great Britain very successful, of course, in the mixed events when they've been held at the major championships before, and by no small matter that is the breaststrokers that have had a great impact on that one. Adam Peaty especially, a great asset to have in your team.
Yeah, the medals are the same colour for the mixed relay as they are for everything else, so let's try and win as many as we can in Tokyo.
Absolutely. Guy Alcaraz is the first swimmer we'll see in this next event, which is the 400 metres individual medley. This is the B final. That's a Lincoln Vulcan swimmer, Tara Hayworth, in the centre lane. She was the fastest qualifier after the heats this morning. But the lineup for this one, in this 400 metres individual medley, at the bottom of your screen, Gaia Alcaraz from Aberdeen Performance. Victoria Nant from City of Leeds, just in the corner there with the yellow cap. She goes in lane 1. Katie Taylor, Heart of Midlothian, in lane 2. Serena Iguaram goes in lane number 3 from City of Glasgow. Tara Hayworth, Lincoln Vulcans, with that yellow cap in the centre. She goes in lane 4. Tia Ward from City of Leeds in 5. Katie Shanahan, the youngster, the 13-year-old from City of Glasgow, in lane 6. Charlotte Robinson from City of Leeds in 7. Next to her, 2 City of Leeds teammates, Rebecca Kleins and Catherine Russell, in 8 and 9. 400 individual medley, Alan, 100 metres of each stroke, and these swimmers will be around about the 5-minute mark for this one.
Yeah, battle of the teenagers here, and young teenagers in particular, it seems, with some of the youngsters from Leeds and City of Glasgow featuring very strongly. Tara will feel like she's the old lady of the race at 18 years of age, so a nice strong start from the Leeds girls, taking out that first 100 metres butterfly. And Serena Higuaram from City of Glasgow will go with them. Look for Katie Shanahan from Glasgow, her teammate, to come through strongly on this, her favoured stroke, backstroke, but she's had a pretty busy day, and she may well find the pace of this just a wee bit tough for her at her tender years of 13.
Looks like it is Tia Ward from City of Leeds has taken it out, and she has a lead of around about a second there, in fact half a second over Serena Higuaram from City of Glasgow. Serena, swimmer I remember over the past couple of years, always a smile on the face of Serena.
Yeah, she is. She's a great advert for this sport. She always smiles, she's always cheery, and she's no mean swimmer either, as we can see here as she's edging through into second place at the halfway mark, trying to chase down the current leader, Tia Ward from City of Leeds.
Tia Ward taking that one out, 2:21.31 at the halfway point. Serena Higuaram in second position. Tara Hayworth in third place now. Looks like those three might be in contention here. I wonder if anyone can pull back on the breaststroke leg. Quite often in this 400 medley, breaststroke makes a big impact. And at the moment it's making a big impact for Tia Ward because she's maintaining that lead, if not extending it.
Yeah, I think she's making this race her own. An outstanding young swimmer from the City of Leeds club, who have an excellent reputation for developing young swimmers, females in particular. We'll see one of her more illustrious teammates in the next final, Georgina Coates. But this is a great swim from Tia Ward, looking to lengthen out her stroke on the second 50 of breaststroke, certainly lengthening her lead, and the only person making a significant impression is Gaia Alcaraz down here in lane 0.
Yeah, out of your shot here, there's the leader in the centre there, but right at the right-hand side here, Guy Alcaraz has pulled up. Probably in third place, maybe even in second now. So it's very, very close here, but a good swim from the Aberdeen performance swimmer there to bring her back into contention. But Tia Ward, well, certainly dominating this one, and you wouldn't really bet against Tia Ward now as they go on to the freestyle. 3:49.77. She has a lead of almost 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds over Alcaraz down there, right at the bottom of your screen. Third place is Charlotte Robinson up there in the top of your screen there. The City of Leeds swimmer in lane number 7, but she's a little bit behind. It's all to play for second, but it seems like the first place is sewn up here.
Yeah, Ward swam a really good race. She swam her own tactics through each of the 4 strokes. Nice and tidy on this freestyle. Good turn, and she can bring it back strongly on this last 50. The race is very much still on though for second place. Who has the energy left in this last 50, Paul?
Well, Alcaraz spent a lot of energy on that breaststroke. She's just been overtaken by Charlotte Robinson at that final turn here. It does look like Tia Ward is going to take this one, and take this one very, very comfortably indeed. She's extending her lead to some 5 seconds now. It is going to go to City of Leeds, this one, and it is going to go to Tia Ward. She comes in, touches the wall under the 5-minute mark, just 4:58.72. It is City of Leeds in second place, Charlotte Robinson 5:01.76, and Tara Hayworth from Lincoln Vulcans in third place in 5:02.20, with Serena Iguaram coming back in that freestyle there for fourth position in 5:02.37. So tight for second, but Tia Ward dominated that one.
She really did. It's a great improvement, and a nice swim, as we said, all the way through. The other girls mainly improving on their heat times, which is obviously what we want to try and see. But it's tough to go both of those in the one day at this level, at senior level. So some of those age group girls learning some very, very important lessons in that race today.
Swimmers exiting the water. That's the B finalists. And the A finalists will make their way on to poolside now for this 400 metres individual medley. 3 junior swimmers in this one, so another young lineup here for this one. Some technical discussions going on poolside.
Yeah, it's like that. Have I got news for you? You want to really put your own voice onto that discussion, don't you, and entertain everybody. But thankfully, we don't have time for that. So here we are with the women's 400 IM A final. Ellie Turner there in lane 0 from Carnegie.
The youngest in this final, 14 years of age, the Carnegie swimmer. Melanie Hall from Royal Wolverhampton. She goes in lane number 1. Kiana McInnes back in again in lane number 2, the Heart of Midlothian swimmer, already medalist, of course, in the butterfly earlier. Georgia Coates from City of Leeds goes in lane number 3. Can she challenge this lady, Victoria Gunis from Turkey? She goes in lane number 4. Orla Adams, what can she do in lane number 5, Aberdeen performance swimmer. Chanel Snedden, she had a good heat this morning from Falkirk Integrated Regional Swim Team. She goes in lane 6. Ailsa MacDonald from Northampton, she goes in lane 7. Jessica Thompson in lane 8 from Aberdeen Performance, and the green cap of Nova sees Molly Wright in lane number 9. You were telling us a little bit about Victoria Gunis earlier on. Yeah,
World Junior record holder on 200 breaststroke. 5-time World Junior champion over 2 separate events, so really the class act of this field. And as we mentioned in the introduction to the programme this evening, now swimming at the University of Edinburgh for a short period of time. No surprise that Kiana McInnes, who was second in that 100 butterfly earlier, is setting the pace here. She's off to the World Junior Championships in Indianapolis in late August, and her best event is 200 butterfly, so she's setting the pace here, but Guinness is going with her, which is a lot faster than she did in the heats this morning. She'll be looking to get a bit of form on this 400 IM.
Yeah, Guinness just pulled through from the rest of the field on the breaststroke, as you might expect. She's well placed on the butterfly now. Kiana McInnes, though, well playing to her strengths, going out hard on the fly. And she has a lead of around about a second and a half. Guinness in second position. Melanie Hall, Royal Wolverhampton down there in lane number 2. She is in third position. And Chanel Snedden, that's at the top of the picture there, in fourth position. She'll be trying to challenge when they move on to the backstroke. Chanel Snedden trying to come back into contention. It looks like Guinness is just about moving through into first there as Kiana McInnes falls back on the backstroke. As they come into the backstroke turn, Guinness, it looks like she's going to hit the front.
This event was won in a new world record time last year at the Rio Olympics by Katinka Hosu of Hungary, and of course it's been made very much her own by the local favourite Hannah Miley, not swimming this event this evening, but will certainly be doing it for Great Britain in Budapest, where she'll be up against the world record holder and Olympic champion Katinka Hosu. And Hannah, of course, is the double Commonwealth Games champion in this event, so great heritage, great history of Foreign IM swimming in Scotland and in this particular city. But it's Guinness who's going to take the lead onto her favoured breaststroke, 2:18.40, which is a reasonable time for somebody who's a good breaststroker. Hannah Miley would probably be through in around about 2:11, 2:12 for her best time. So some way off that pace just now, but stretching and lengthening out Guinness on her favoured breaststroke with the other girls in her wake, but certainly looking to establish good times for the minor places.
Yeah, Guinness, of course, took part in the Olympic Games last year for Turkey, finishing 18th in this event. So she has some pedigree, that's for sure. And she is stretching away on the breaststroke as we might have expected. Orla Adams in second position, the Aberdeen performance swimmer. 5 seconds now behind Chanel Snedden in third place here, but Orla Adams, the top Scot at the moment.
She is the top Scot, and she is the fastest ranked Scot in the field in the absence of Hannah Miley. Victoria Guinness, born in Ukraine, swimming for Turkey, so an international flavour to this particular event, and she is certainly stretching that lead out with a nice breaststroke leg. 2:19 is her best time for 200 breaststrokes, so no surprise that she's well ahead. 3:36 is a good split for her. We're not aware of what her best time is, but I think she'll be looking for a strong swim here. Orla Adams, 3:42 is her best split at that point. If she can bring this freestyle back strongly, she'll go under 4:50, which is a very, very good standard for her to try and achieve.
Commonwealth Games standard 4:42, so it might well be out of the reach of the Scots in this one. Hannah Miley, of course, already achieved that time, so she has the consideration time for the Commonwealth Games. So not swimming this here today, but Guinness, in Hannah Miley's absence, is heading for home. Entry time of 4:39.53, so I'm not sure if that's her best time, but certainly a recent time for Guinness, and she's not going to be too far away from that, maybe around about the 4:40 mark as she just eases into the closing stages. It's been a good swim from Victoria Guinness, the Turkish swimmer, just about 4:40 as she almost comes to a standstill at the end there. It could have been slightly faster if she pushed into the wall, but 4:47.8, very good time for Guinness. Orla Adams will be the Scottish champion, 4:51.08, and Chanel Snedden in second position, 4:53.75, just holding off the challenge of Kiana McInnes there on the freestyle.
Yeah, the early leader on the butterfly, I think that's her best time, so she'll be pleased with her evening's work of 59.9 and 4:55.1 as she builds through the remainder of this season. But comfortable win from Guinness, I think just about on her best time. I think we'll settle for that, and a good indication of her readiness to take on the World Championships in 3 or 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's one we'll watch out for her progress after seeing her here in Aberdeen, and she will win the Open title with Orla Adams taking the Scottish title. Kiana McInnes finishing fourth in that one, but she will be the Scottish Junior Champion. Well, we've seen the 50s, Alan. We've seen the 400s move up now to the 1500s.
Indeed, we do. 1500 metres freestyle, an interesting field, an interesting race and prospect. A South Lanarkshire battle, I think, in the middle lanes, it would be fair to say. But young Fraser Allison from Warren Bass, I think, may have something to say about that.
There's lane 0, Cameron Kavanagh from South Lanarkshire. This, of course, is the fastest heat. These guys didn't have to do a qualification this morning. We saw a heat swam won by Finlay Saunders in 17 minutes .01. So that's the time that these guys are aiming for. Should be fairly comfortable for them. Daniel Ferguson from West Lothian in 1. Daniel Fisher goes in lane number 2 from Edinburgh University. Daniel Ferguson in 1 is a junior swimmer, as is Jonathan Christie from South Lanarkshire. He goes in lane 3. And Richard Laird goes in lane number 4, the man with by far the fastest entry time, so he will be the favourite for this one. The smiling Fraser Allison. Ready for this one, Marshall Illingworth in lane number 6 from South Ayrshire. And the two lead swimmers side by side, Jacob Butterfield and Thomas Jackson in 7 and 8. Well, Richard Laird is going to be the man to beat in terms of entry times. The only man under 16 minutes 15:48. So he'll be firm favourite for this one.
Yeah, he should be. Some of the junior swimmers, I think, will be prepared to give him a good run for his money. Two of these youngsters, Jonathan Christie and Fraser Allison, have recently been away with the youth development squad in Porto at an international competition there, and Jonathan Christie did his best time there. Fraser also swam just about every event going in the manner of Hannah Miley, and has had a very successful weekend, tough weekend too. So we'll see what kind of form Richard Laird is in, how the race unfolds in terms of pacing. Marshall Illingworth, who's a 1500 freestyler obviously in this race, but has been doing some open water training and competing recently, and certainly one to watch out for as the race unfolds as well.
Well, early leader, looks like it is Daniel Fisher from Edinburgh University, going over in 101.51. Richard Laird in second position there, 2 lanes up from the early leader. And third place, Marshall Illingworth, just a couple of lanes up as well in lane number 6, just at the top of those yellow lane markers. It's still pretty close in the early stages. 101 and 102 for the first 100s. Scottish record, of course, held by Stephen Milne, who's not doing this 1500 here.
No, he was doing the 100 freestyle under 50 seconds not too long ago, so testing out his speed. Stephen, of course, 1500 free, 400 free, 200 free, Olympic silver medalist in that relay last year, so very much got the range of events available to him. Not doing this race this evening, but still very much a part of his programme as he develops towards the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games. Tactically, these swimmers will probably be using one of two strategies: building their effort through 5 by 300 metres, or building their effort through 3 by 500 metres. They and their coach will have decided which is the best way for them to do that. Can they do the long sustained finish over 500, or do they build it over the last 300 metres? But it's looking like it's pretty much taken shape the way we expected, and perhaps Jonathan Christie falling off the pace a wee bit at the moment, but certainly I wouldn't write him off at this stage, because he may well be on the steadier start pacing strategy and will come through strongly at the end.
Well, Daniel Fisher, still the early leader, still leads them into that turn as they come down to the 300 mark. The guys in the centre there, Jonathan Christie just slipping off the pace, he said, in lane number 3, but still trying to hold on to the feet of Richard Laird there. In lane 4, Richard Laird, Fraser Allison, Marshall Illingworth going over together. They are second, third and fourth, only 0.16 of a second separating those two, but Daniel Fisher has gone through the 300 in 3:12.74, so that is It's pacing around about 104, 104 and a half for that one.
Yeah, well, I'm not expecting anybody to go under 16 minutes off this pacing, so that would be Richard Laird's personal best time off the table, but certainly the other swimmers who are not under 16 minutes and who'll be looking for very significant PBs are just about on pace to do that. Fraser Allison looks probably the most comfortable and smoothest of them all at the moment, although Marshall Illingworth, as I mentioned before, who's been training for open water recently, will certainly be a strong contender at the finish.
Well, as you look at them there, it is Daniel Fisher there leading. 2 lanes up from him, it's Richard Laird. 1 lane up from him, Fraser Allison, the red cap of Warrender. And 1 lane up from him, Marshall Illingworth, with Jonathan Christie just following those leading 4. Daniel Fisher doing a good job here in the early stages. 4:17.95. So he's just dropped to 105 pace now, 105.1 there for the leader, Daniel Fisher. But he's still edging ahead of the 3 swimmers in the centre lanes there. But they've not come to the 1/3 distance yet. The 1/3, the 500 metre mark as they reach this bottom end.
Yeah, I think it will be an indicator of just what happens over the next couple of 100 metres, who's pushing on through the 500 mark and who's trying to maintain the pace that they've been going for the last couple of 100 metres or so. Still think Fraser Allison and Marshall Illingworth look the most comfortable. We'll see what the pacing strategy is. Richard Laird is the fastest swimmer in the field, but is not at his personal best form, so he probably will be able to finish strongly if he can hang on with them. At the 1/3 mark, 5:23, so possibly looking in the region of just under 16:20, 16:15 to 16:20 mark, unless they can pick it up and swim a significant negative split, which is not looking likely at the moment.
No, 5:23.61 there. That was a time of around about 5, just over 5, 105 there for Daniel Fisher. So the pace just kind of slightly slowing by the odd 10th or so as they go through here, but all these 10ths add up on a 1500.
When you're in a race like this, it's actually quite easy just to get lulled into the pace that everyone is going, and you think you're in a race and you're going quite well, but actually if you want to establish your own pace, your own rhythm, you have to break away from that. You have to have the courage to try and break away. It's very, very tough to do, but actually will pay dividends for you at the end. And Richard Laird looks like he may be the one to do that, and not surprisingly, as the fastest swimmer, he may have the actual pace to break away.
Well, again, we're in the 105 range now for Richard Laird. He has just taken the lead at that turn. Daniel Fisher in 2nd position. Fraser Allison, Marshall Illingworth in 3rd or 4th, and now Marshall Illingworth just getting a little bit detached from the 2 inside him. Marshall Illingworth in lane number 6. He's going to try and hold on to the feet of Fraser Allison as they go through here. As the pace just drops, Fraser Allison, that red cap. As you said, Alan, looks pretty comfortable now, Fraser Allison.
Yeah, he's a tough swimmer. He swims a range of events, works really hard in training. Is a bit of a live wire. Duracell bunny is the expression that we used for him in Porto. He just seemed to keep going and going and going and got stronger as the meet went on. So he'll certainly be around in the shakedown at the finish. This is 700 metres. The next turn will be the halfway point, and we will see what's possible for these guys to achieve come the end of the race.
Yeah, well, he was smiling away, Fraser Allison, prior to the race earlier. He was looking forward to it. He's keeping his eye on Richard Laird next to him, breathing across to the leader now. 7:35.45. There we are at halfway point now. 750 metres they've gone over in 8:08. So, well, double that up, Alan, and that's, even if you go for a negative split, you're talking about 6:16 there, and that's very tough to achieve.
Yeah, I don't think they're looking like they'll do a negative split, so even the 16:20 marker will be difficult for them to achieve. But it's a great race, and it's unfolding right before our eyes, with Richard Laird beginning just to edge ahead now at the 800 mark.
Yeah, Richard Laird has gone through halfway, beginning to put the pressure on now. 8:41.04, he just picked that up there. They dropped to a 106 pace, they're now down to a 105.5 pace, so Richard Laird certainly putting a little bit of pressure on here for the rest of the field. Fraser Allison trying to hold on to Richard Laird. It looks like it's going to be between these two now. Daniel Fisher, the early leader, now looks like he might be in a battle for third position with Marshall Illingworth, and still with just under half of this race to go here.
If we have a look at the swimmer's shoulder, swimmer's back, you can see that redness, that almost purple look coming through as they work really hard, fight against the tiredness that's developing in their body, and try to keep this rhythm going, keep this length of stroke going. It's almost the colour of Fraser Allison's cap.
It certainly is. They're working very, very hard. Richard Laird, 9:47.72. And again, the pace has just dropped to 106, so it's let Fraser Allison get back alongside Richard Laird now. So those two, and Fraser Allison actually making a bid for the front here. The Warrender swimmer.
Courageous swim from Fraser, beginning to do the big long wind up to the finish. I think this is the way it's going to be right to the end. There's going to be a battle down the last 50 between these two, and I'm not sure who I would favour for that particular battle.
They've both kind of got big, long, rangy strokes, long levers at the front there. Not really doing much for their legs at the moment.
No, and that's primarily to swim as efficiently as they can using their arms. If they need to bring the legs in, they will do so in the last 100, possibly even just the last 50. Neither of them are particularly fast on the shorter freestyle events, so this is an arm-dominated race for the two boys out front.
Richard Laird back in the lead again. The lead just changing hands. They go through 10:54 this time, so they've dropped to a 106 pace again, so they're finding it tough going. But Fraser Allison, as he swims away from the scoreboard, seems to have a little bit of a spurt there.
Yeah, you can see the breathing pattern. Fraser breathing to his right hand side, can see Richard on this way down, so Richard the same breathing to his left, can see Fraser, and that's perhaps just why Fraser is edging ahead on the way down, but there's nothing between them. 2 100ths of a second at that turn, and all to swim for.
Well, coming down to 1100 as they get to the bottom end. There's 400 to go. Great battle between these two. It's what we like to see, fighting it out for that Scottish title. Richard Laird and Fraser Anderson. We'll just have a quick look at the juniors as well that are in this one. Daniel Ferguson in lane 1 and Jonathan Christie in lane number 3, and they are very close as well, just a second separating them, with Jonathan Christie at the moment in position for the junior title in lane number 3. Back to the front of the field, Richard Laird with 9 100ths of a second advantage over Fraser Allison. They've gone over the 1100 and just bang on the 12-minute mark. So again, 106 pace, Alan. They've got 400 to go here.
They have, and it's a keen race. We've seen some great racing this evening already. This is no different. It may be the longest event in the programme, but it's certainly not disappointing as far as racing and competitive action is concerned. Nothing between these two boys, stroke for stroke, breath for breath, as they come up with 300 metres to go.
Well, if they're looking to do 106s on here, we are looking at somewhere just over the 16:20 mark. So that will be decent performance, certainly for the two of them. Fraser Allison looking to try and get a little bit faster to get down to 16:16, but that's going to be a tough ask now with only 300 to go. Richard Laird and Fraser Allison over together, 13:06.89. Again, we are just looking at the 106 here for this one, and again Fraser Allison dives into the lead as they come off the wall at the bottom scoreboard end.
That's a great shot there from the camera guys, stroke for stroke down this lap. Absolutely fantastic racing. And as they turn and face away from each other, there's nothing between them. And 0.7 of a second between the two, 13:39.99, 13:40, 0.6. Great racing, 200 metres to go, and the big wind up for the finish is about to start.
Well, they're coming down to this bottom end here. Let's see if Fraser Allison can kick again. Looks like Richard Laird's going to have that very small advantage there, and he is actually just forging ahead now. He's put a little bit of pressure on Fraser Allison, and Fraser Allison will turn over now about 0.4 down. And as soon as he sees his competitor, he just ups the stroke rate there to try and bring himself back into contention now. Fraser Allison working really, really hard now and just about pulling alongside Richard Laird. A great battle between these two. Great racing.
It is. Richard Laird tried to steal a march on Fraser there on that 50 as they breathed away from each other. Fraser responded on the first 25 there, but Richard's edged ahead again.
So the gap is about 0.3 of a second now as they go to the 150. We'll hear the welcome sign of the bell when they come down now to this bottom end. They'll be down at the 1400 metre range, and Fraser Allison this time not letting Richard Laird get so far ahead. In fact, Fraser Allison working really hard when he's breathing to that opposite side. Richard Laird though will have the lead as they come into the bell. Now, who has got the strength for this final 100?
Fraser Allison, I think, is just beginning to wind it up now with 100 metres to go. He looks the fresher. Richard Laird is trying to respond, but Fraser Allison just edging ahead now, beginning to use his legs that wee bit more effectively. Little to trim for, like we predicted, down this last 50. It's going to be hammer and tongs. Who's going to get the touch?
Well, they come up to the final turn now. What is the distance between them? It's only 0.3 of a second. It's Fraser Allison who has the advantage here. Now they're going to the legs now. And Fraser Allison looks really, really strong here as he comes away from Richard Laird. Richard Laird, what can he do? Can he respond now as they come down to the last 25 now? Fraser Allison in the red cap. This is a fight for the Scottish title here. Richard Laird with those straight arm freestyles right at the death here, and he is going to take it, I think. I don't think Allison can respond, but what a finish there from Richard Laird, and he takes it in 16:19.16. Fraser Allison in second, 16:19.61. What a great race between those two. In third place it was Marshall Illingworth. In fourth place was Daniel Fisher. And fifth place Jonathan Christie, who I think will be the junior champion.
Those are the faces of sheer exhaustion from those two boys. Terrific racing, great sportsmanship at the end, shown by all the boys. Terrific performance, great racing, and a well-deserved swim down and dinner tonight, I think, for Fraser and Richard.
A great last 100 there, 60.59 for the last 100.
Which begs the coaching question, why did they not wind that up a wee bit further out from the finish? Great last 100, and obviously the race brought out the best in them, but I think that 60-point effort could have been spread out a bit more evenly for the previous 3, 4 or even 500 metres, but then I would say that, wouldn't I?
That's the coach talking now, Alan. Our final swimmer coming in, Cameron Kavanagh. 17:34 for Cameron Kavanagh in lane number 0, the South Lanarkshire swimmer. And there is the final result, 16:19.16 for Richard Laird. That's 62nd last 100, taking him ahead of Fraser Allison and Daniel Fisher. In fourth position, Jonathan Christie, I think, will be the junior champion.
We just have one more race to go, Paul. We've hardly blinked, and there we are at the end of the session. There's the finish again from those 1,500 guys. Absolutely terrific.
And he really straightened his arms out there in the closing stages, didn't he? It was all kind of the classic bent arm freestyle, but in those last 10 metres, it was all straight arm stuff.
Just trying to wind up his stroke rate as best he can. First demonstrated by Michael Klim way back in the late 1990s as he tried to speed up what he was doing into the finish, and it's pretty common these days for freestylers, individual and relay events, to make sure they finish strongly.
Remember the great American freestyler Janet Evans used to be there.
She just did that.
Freestyle all the way, not not at the end, but all the way through.
Indeed.
The 400s and 800s for Janet Evans back, the great Olympic medalist.
Here we are with the medalists in the ladies 400 metres individual medley. A nice shot of Chanel Snedden from the first programme based in Falkirk.
Chanel Snedden taking that bronze medal, 4:53.75. A couple of seconds ahead of her, Orla Adams, 4:51.08. Great swim there from Orla Adams. Victoria Guinness takes the Scottish Open title here in Aberdeen, and that was an impressive swim. We'll watch out for her later in the year at the Major Championship swimming for Turkey. Scottish national champion will be the first Scot home, Orla Adams. And the junior champion, well, it's Kiana McInnes, but not Kiana McInnes accepting the medal this time.
Slightly taller than Kiana McInnes, that's her teammate Lexi Waller, her teammate at Heart of Midlothian, and her teammate for the British junior team for the World Championships in Indianapolis at the end of August. We mentioned that a few times this evening. Terrific to see 6 Scottish swimmers on that World Junior Championship team, 5 girls, 1 boy. Lexi and Kiana, teammates at Heart of Midlothian, 2 of those featuring in that team, and we wish them every success in the great state of Indiana.
Absolutely. Scots well represented on the international stage this year. Really had a big representation in GB teams over the last couple of years, certainly built up significantly.
Yeah, it's been terrific. We're very pleased with the way things are developing. We've got 6 in Israel, 6 in Indianapolis, 6 in Budapest for the World Championships. And Marshall
Illingworth, 16:31.01. And Fraser Allison, well, he gave everything, didn't he?
Still smiling.
Yeah, 16:19.61, but Richard Laird is the Scottish champion, 16:19.16. Well done, Richard Laird.
Great finish, and very much on trend there with the fashion of buttoning his top button in the polo shirt. Not a trend I favour myself, Paul. I'm much more a traditionalist. Open your top button, please,
yeah, that's
Richard.
right. Different generation we are, Alan.
Indeed.
Junior champion was Jonathan Christie from South Lanarkshire. So South Lanarkshire well represented on the medal podium. And there are your medalists in the men's 1500 freestyle.
We've had some fantastic shots of ASV, the Aberdeen Sports Village Aquatic Centre this evening, going to play host to the European Junior Championships itself in 2020. In a few years' time, we look forward to welcoming the cream of European junior swimming to the Granite City.
Well, we saw the presentation for the last individual event of the evening, the 1500s. We now have the final race of the evening, and it's the women's 4x200 metres freestyle relay. Teams we have in lane 1 closest to us are the team from Dumfries. In lane number 2, the junior team from City of Glasgow. In lane number 3, the Aberdeen Performance B team. In lane number 4, Aberdeen Performance A team. In lane number 5, Warrender Baths. In lane number 6, the Heart of Midlothian junior team, who are the Scottish junior record holders. And the West Lothian junior team complete the lineup in lane number 7. Well, first place, it is the Aberdeen Performance teams there. And Aberdeen Performance, well, be one of the favourites to win this one, Alan. Got a strong team led out by Hannah Miley.
Yes, indeed, Hannah Miley, who we've seen a couple of times in her off events this evening, one of which was the 200 freestyle. and she's the clear and obvious leader at this stage. Best time of 1:58.0 for a flat start, 200 freestyle, so pretty good going. She'll not do that tonight. She's 360.96, but she'll be looking to establish a strong lead on this second 100 of the first leg.
Yeah, Hannah Miley just with the edge over her Aberdeen performance. Warren Bass actually in second position. That's Katie Smith there with that red cap. The white cap of Aberdeen Performance, one lane below Hannah Miley in third position. So these three swimmers taking out the lead. Aberdeen Performance first and third, Warren Bass in second position. City of Glasgow just in your shot there. Down at the bottom, that's Katie Shanahan, the youngster, the 13-year-old who, she said, Alan's had a busy day and she's back in the water again.
She is. She's a great competitor, really bubbly, bouncy character, full of confidence, full of ability, and somebody certainly to watch out for the future. Doing a great job here in this first leg for City of Glasgow junior team.
Hannah Miley hands over to Kirsty Stewart, the youngest swimmer in this Aberdeen Performance team, 16 years of age. Kirsty Stewart, she'll be looking to hold on to the lead. In for Warrender, Sarah Anderson, who goes there in lane number 5. But the lead being stretched now by Kirsty Stewart in the early stages of this one. And it looks like it's Orla Adams in for Aberdeen Performance, second swimmer there. Just closing up on Warrender there as they go over the wall. They come down to the first half of their leg, and a very good swim in the early stages there by Kirsty Stewart, looking comfortable.
Really nice technique from Kirsty, balanced, good leg kick, breathing to both sides, looking very, very good here, and nice to see the home team represented and showing their depth so strongly in this female event. It's a tough event internationally, the women's 4x2 and 3, when you have America and China and Australia, strong nations on freestyle. Sweden, not to forget them, with Sarah Sjostrom on the anchor leg. Italy with Pellegrini. It's a really tough event to break into, and for any club program, any national team program, to have depth of swimmers like Aberdeen are showing here really is significant, and I'm sure their head coach Patrick Miley and Gregor McMillan, Mark Wilmot, will be really pleased with the way their girls are showing up in first and second place here.
Yeah, they're putting in some good performances already at these championships. University of Aberdeen. Kirsty Stewart is still looking very, very well balanced. That head, excellent head position there for Kirsty Stewart. Breathing to both sides. As she comes in to those red markers, signifying she has 15 metres to go now. And there's the red markers there. She comes into the halfway point. Kirsty Stewart hands over to Jessica Thompson on to the third leg, and University of Aberdeen Performance have a lead of around about 6.5 seconds over their B team, with Warren Bass in third position. In terms of the junior title, it does look like Heart of Midlothian juniors in lane number 6 are just leading that tussle for the junior title, just ahead of the City of Glasgow junior team, who go in lane number 2. So Aberdeen Performance, well, dominating it so far, but the gap maybe just closing up between the two Aberdeen teams, although it's still significant.
It is. Jess Thompson, one of our former youth development squad members, developing senior swimmer now at University of Aberdeen Performance, going well, going strongly here, being chased down by her club mate, her teammate normally, Rebecca Reid. But comfortable lead, I think, for Jess. I think the lead will be solid through the remainder of this leg and the final leg. So Aberdeen looking to go 1-2 to complete a nice successful evening for the home programme.
Yeah, they're looking odds on to do that. At the moment, 5 seconds is the gap between the Aberdeen A team and the Aberdeen B team, and a further 4 seconds is the gap between Warrender in third place and the second place Aberdeen Performance B team. So It's all getting pretty stretched out here. And it does look like City of Glasgow now have come back and they've overtaken Heart of Midlothian junior team in lanes 2 and 6. So Kirsty Griffiths in for City of Glasgow and Louise MacArthur in for Heart of Midlothian as well. So the junior title there just changing hands as we go through. And as we go into the final changeover, it is University of Aberdeen Performance, the A team, and the B team in second position. The gap is now round about 7.5 seconds, Alan, so that doesn't look like it's going to change. The final swimmers that are going in for the two Aberdeen teams, for the A team, Alice Alcaraz, and for the B team, India Dodd. So a big margin of lead there for the Aberdeen A team as Alice Alcaraz comes in to her first turn.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about who's going to win. The girls will be looking to establish some good times, though. They're swimming effectively time trialling, each of them on their own. There's not too many competitive battles like we've just seen in that 1500 metres freestyle, but important to pace it correctly, important to apply their effort evenly over the race, no matter if they're in a tight tussle or not. And Alice Alcaraz will be looking to establish not just a win, but a good swim to round off the day.
Well, let's have a quick look at the gap now as they go with 100 to go. Yeah, still pretty much as it was, just over 7 seconds, 7.5 seconds between the two Aberdeen teams, but they have stretched their lead over Warrender, and in fact the City of Glasgow junior team has pulled up into the bronze medal position. So City of Glasgow junior team have a great last leg. It's Lauren Wetherall, who had a good swim earlier today. She's coming through into third position at the moment, and Warrender now down to 4. Taylor Finlayson on the last leg for Warrender trying to respond.
Lauren Wetherall, the anchor leg swimmer for City of Glasgow, recently returned to Scotland from Ball School in Florida up near Jacksonville. She will be swimming at the Glasgow School of Sport in Bellahouston as of next academic year. City of Glasgow swimming programme, and she's a strong swimmer, also one of our promising youth swimmers. We're delighted to see her back into Scotland as Aberdeen win 8:31.67. The Aberdeen B team follow up. It's tight for third, but Aberdeen B team in second place, and Lauren Wetherall signs off a successful first day for City of Glasgow with a junior team win.
Yeah, Alice Alcaraz bringing them home there with a convincing win for the University of Aberdeen Performance. 8:31.67. 10 seconds was the gap over the B team in the end. India Dodd bringing the B team back in 8:41.75. And City of Glasgow swim team, the junior team, will take the junior title and will take the bronze medal in the open event as well. So a good swim there from City of Glasgow as the final team finishes, and that is the team from Dumfries. It's Niamh Green in there in lane number 1 for the team from Dumfries. And there is the final result of the final race for this evening. 8:31.67 for the University of Aberdeen A team, University of Aberdeen B team 8:41.75, and City of Glasgow coming back strongly in the closing stages to claim that bronze medal. Good swim from the junior team of City of Glasgow.
Yeah, great depth from them too. Promising start, as we said, to their first day. They'll be looking to establish themselves as Scotland's premier club programme over the next few years, led ably by Ian Wright and his coaching staff based at Tollcross. Terrific medal for that junior team. Of course, Tollcross, the site for next year's European Aquatic Championships as part of the European Games, which are spread over Glasgow and Berlin.
Yeah, very exciting times for Scotland. Major championships being held here. Some great talent on display here in the Aberdeen Sports Village. Just got the presentations to come now to complete the proceedings for this evening. And the relay team's just getting themselves ready. Here they come. City of Glasgow will be very pleased with that one. To get into the medal podium on the senior event. But it was Aberdeen performance all the way that dominated this one.
It was great for these young Glasgow ladies, swapping a story or bit of chat to each other. That's Katie Shanahan, first to receive her medal. We've got Serena Hegwaram and Lauren Wetherall, and also Kirsty Griffiths there, second to receive her medal. Did a great job, well done girls.
The B team for Aberdeen performance, led off by Shannon Patterson. Orla Adams there also collecting her medal. She was the anchor leg there. In fact, second leg. Rebecca Reid was third, and India Dodd was the anchor leg. Apologies. But here are the champions, the Scottish champions. Hannah Miley leading them off there. Over on the right hand side, well done Hannah Miley. Always does her best here at the Scottish Championships. Second leg was Kirsty Stewart. Jessica Thompson was the third leg swimmer, and Alice Alcaraz brought them home for a convincing victory for the Aberdeen Performance A team. And the junior team, well, they're on the medal podium already. It was that City of Glasgow junior team. 13-year-old Katie Shanahan, two 15-year-olds, Serena Hegwaram and Lauren Wetherall, and the 16-year-old Kirsty Griffiths. Good way to finish that this evening there. Alan, some good performances there. Dominating performances from Aberdeen, and they'll have more relays to come as we go through these championships as well. Shorter distances as well as the men's equivalent of this 4x200.
Indeed we will. It's a great way to end proceedings with a relay. It's traditional in the world of swimming to do that, and Aberdeen will be pleased with their evening's work, particularly in that last final, as will Glasgow with some significant swims from their junior and senior swimmers.
Well, that's our final proceedings tonight, the final medal presentations. It's only day one of these championships. Of course, we have seen some excellent performances, some record-breaking performances tonight, and that was a little bit unexpected maybe, but some very good swims from the record breakers tonight. Starting off with Tame Bruce, of course, that very first swim.
Yeah, it was a great start. A long-standing Scottish record, the women's 100 fly, which went, and I think it will go even faster through this season now that the barrier has been broken by Tane, and she's regularly under 60 seconds, so terrific from her. Good stuff also in the men's 100 freestyle. A couple of guys under for 50 seconds and challenging for relay spots. Women's 23, couple of 158s. Nice job by Catherine Greenslade and Lucy Hope. Men's 200 fly was a good race. Not so quick on the times for some of the lads, but certainly very, very competitive. Pick of the bunch for me, I think, was Kathleen Dawson's 50 back. A world-class swim, and really not far behind her at all was Lucy Hope with a great start and finish. Men's 50 breaststroke, again, great racing. Maybe not as quick as the boys would have wanted. And we got a glimpse of a world-class swimmer in Gunes winning the IEM. So great stuff.
Excellent stuff there. Records galore tonight. That's only the first night of competition. We'll be back here for another 3 nights of competition. There is what we are looking forward to on day 2. A number of events as well to look forward to. Sprints, long distance events, all the strokes represented tomorrow night, finishing off with another relay. Many thanks to Alan Lynn for joining me tonight. Thanks, Alan. We'll be hearing from you, I'm sure, later on in the week. But
we will.
Thanks very much for everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a quick fire session. We've enjoyed it. I hope you have. And we hope you will join us again for the rest of these championships over the next 3 days. So, bye for now.